This bag has been trending for a while now, and I decided to use my blackhead machine to actually make it. So in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you the guide I used to actually make this bag using my blackhead machine. So if this is something you'd love to see, please stay tuned to the channel and let's proceed. So this is the material I'm actually using, and as you can see, I've already drawn out some lines on the body of the material. I'm going to be sharing it with you for better understanding. So for the stabilizer I'm actually using a wording here. It is popularly known as a breast padding in Nigeria. So the width of the wording is 14 inches and the length is 7 inches. I have two. So I'm going to be using this to stabilize the first and the second body. Now, these markings that I made on my leather is what I am going to be using as a guide. So the first line I measured at the top was half inches, then I measured 7 inches. After 7 inches, I went ahead and measured 4 inches. After 4 inches, I went ahead and repeat the same process. I measured 7 inches again, then I measured half inches again. So the half inches on the two sides, the beginning and the end, is the one I'm going to be using to fold in the top so that I'll have neat top, while the 4 inches is the bottom. Then the 2 7 inches is the first and the second body, and of course the width is by 14 inches because that is the wideness of the bag. So I just hope you understand my measurement. So I am going to be using my gum to join these two pieces together because I don't want it to move around, and I don't have a heat presser. Okay, so I decided to use gum to join the two surface together. So those lines that I measured are actually what I'm going to be using as a guide to place my wording, starting from the half inches and stopping at the 4 inches. Okay, so I'm going to be arranging my wording. That's my interfacing. That's the interfacing I'm using. I'm going to be arranging it nicely from one end to the other end. Okay, then I'll place the second side as well. After I was done, then I am now going to go ahead and cut out the excess fabric that I have on the top and on the side. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's good to have you guys back here to the channel. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back. I love you, God bless you. And if you're just tuning into the channel for the very first time, you are highly welcome to this channel. In this channel, I teach bag making tutorials, everything bag making, from structured bags to tote bags, Ankara bags, trending bags, old school bags, luxury bags, fashion bags, office bags, everything bags. As long as it's bag, then this channel is for you. So if you are a fashion lover just like me, or you are a bag maker just like me, then click on the subscribe button and also the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post in new tutorials. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up. It actually means a lot to me. It actually tells YouTube that we are doing something meaningful here, and they will help share this channel to other people who are in need of it. Please don't forget to subscribe. It also means a lot to me. Don't forget to say something nice in the comment section if you learn one or two from this tutorial, and don't forget to share this channel to your loved ones so that more people will engage on this channel and more people will benefit what you have benefited. Having said that, let's proceed into the video. So after I cut out my part my leather, this is what I should have. So there's half inches here, 14 inches, 7 inches, and 4 inches. Okay, so I am going to be cutting out all the excess. I'm just making my markings to make sure that my work is not bent. Okay, so I'm going to be cutting out all the excess on both sides. The two top are, I'm leaving the half inches. I'm only cutting the excess on both sides. Okay, so after I cut it, this is what it looks like. Now what is left is to remove our anchor. Okay, so I'm going to be making a notch so that I'll use it as a guide to actually remove my anchor. So the anchor is going to be a 2 by 2 inches anchor. The reason is because the bottom is 4 inches, so I'm going to be removing 2 by 2 inches, 2 inches this way and 2 inches this way on both sides. You can remove 3 inches, that's 1.5 inches on both sides. You can remove 2.5 inches, but I will recommend 4 inches, that is 2 by 2 inches, so that your bag will not be too big and it will not be too small. Okay, so this is just me making my markings, and I'm using my ruler to connect my line so that it will come out well. Then I'm just going to be cutting on the lines. Okay, so when I cut it out, this is what it should look like. So our bottom has already come out. So this piece is the piece I'm going to be using as the stabilizer for the bottom. Okay, so when you measure, you end up having 10 inches left with 4 inches, okay, at that bottom piece. So I'm going to be using my gum to join the pieces to the fabric, the stabilizer to the fabric I want to use for the bottom. I'm going to be using my gum to join it together. After I join it together, this is what it looks like. So I'm going to be using my scissors to just poke holes and poke my back stand before I go ahead and sew it to the bottom of the bag. So I'm going to be using my super glue to just hold it in place so that it will not move around when I am stitching. Then I'll just go and give it a straight stitch on the sides. Okay, straight sides. So after I was done, this is what it should look like. So you see our bag, the bottom has already come out, and it is very thick. So this fabric that I'm using, is that I'm cutting out, is for the flap, and I cut it out at 4.5 inches by 8 inches. Okay, so you can always make alterations, because I later reduced the length of the flap because it was just too long. So I decided to reduce it to 6 inches. So if you want to cut your own, make sure you're cutting it out at 6 inches by 4.5 inches or 5 inches by 6 inches, so that it will be very to relax, and it will also cover the necessary places. Okay, so make sure you use your biro cover to just make a sorry, your what's it called, your bottle cover, to just make a tiny curve at one end so that it will come out curvy. Then you go ahead and fold it. One is holding your stabilizers. Okay, so the two panels are going to be holding your stabilizer so that you'll be able to join the two pieces together. So I'm using wadding for one stabilizer, and I'm using a two-faced leather for one stabilizer. Okay, so if you are using a chipboard and a carry board, you are going to be using them. If you are using a Mako, you're going to be using your Mako for your so anything you're using for your stabilizer is what you're going to be using. The hard one is going to be at the outside, while the soft one is going to be on the inside. So I just hope you understand my point. So you're going to be rubbing your gum so that you'll be able to join the two pieces, the two panels together. Okay, so you'll be able to join the two panels together. Mind you, the when putting your what's it called, your fastener, that's your magnetic lock, make sure you are putting it on the hard stabilizer. Okay, if you are using a carry board and a chipboard, make sure you are putting your fastener on the chipboard, and make sure it's the chipboard that is facing the top part of the okay of your or the top part of your bag. Okay, I just hope you understand my point. If you're using a marco, make sure the marco is the one that is going to be at the top, and make sure it's the marco that you are putting your fastener. So me, since I am using a two-face and and a what's it called, a warding, I am going to be putting my fastener on the two-face leather. Okay, so I just hope you understand. So this is just me using my super glue to just stack the edges, so that when I put my fastener and when I want to sew, it will not actually move around. So after I was done, the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is to get the middle of my fabric and sew the flap to it, making sure it's as center as possible. I'm just going to be sewing my flap to it. So after I was done stitching, this is what it should look like. Okay, so now the next thing to do is to cut out my lining piece. Okay, so while cutting out the lining piece, I am going to be removing 1.5 inches from both ends from this overall measurement. Okay, I'm going to be removing 1.5 inches from both ends from this overall measurement. So we have half inches plus 7 inches plus 4 inches plus 7 inches plus half inches. Okay, so and whatever I get, I'm going to be removing 3 inches from the overall measurement. I'm going to be cutting it out. Then I'm going to be cutting out 1 inches leather on both fabric. Okay, on both side to add as the extension of the lining. Okay, so now after I was done with the lining part, I am just going to go ahead and just sew the two sides. Okay, after I was done sewing the two sides, then I'm also going to go and sew the bottom as well. Okay, so this is what it should look like when you are done sewing the bottom. Okay, this is what it should look like when you're done sewing the bottom. Okay, so you see that our bag is coming together already. So now the next thing to go ahead and do now is to rub your gum on the top part of the leather and the side as well, so that everything will relax. Okay, so that everything will relax, so that when you want to sew top stitch your bag will look relaxed. Okay, so you put gum on the top part, put gum on this side as well, so that everything will relax. Okay, so after you put your gum, you fold in the side first before you now go ahead and fold in the top. Okay, so you are folding down that half inches. Okay, so you are folding down that half inches. After you're done folding, you go ahead and turn your bag inside out. So this is what it should look like when we are done. Okay, now the next thing that we are going to be doing now is to go and start working on the lining piece. Okay, so in order to give the bag this slant shape at the top, we are going to be using a divider to achieve that. Okay, so the bottom of the bag is actually 10 inches. So I'm going to be cutting out my divider at 8.5 inches in width by 5.5 inches in length. Okay, so the measurement of the length of the bag is 7 inches. We remove 1 inches, so we have 6 inches left. Okay, then the width of the bottom is 5.5 is 10 inches rather. Okay, so I'm going to be using these measurements to cut out my divider. I'm going to be cutting out the divider at 8.5 inches, but I was not satisfied with the measurement. So next time if I want to make this bag, I'm going to be cutting the divider at 8 inches. Okay, so you can use 8 inches, while the length you can use 11 inches. Okay, so you're going to sew zipper to the two sides, to the two open ends like this. Then you are now going to put your runner. Okay, after you put your runner, you are now going to sew it to the lining after the 1 inches extension. Okay, that is where you are going to be sewing your lining. So I made a mistake here. I actually turned the pocket inside out. It is absolutely not, it is not, you see, I made a mistake. So you don't have to turn the what's it called, the divider inside out. No, if you turn it inside out, your pocket will be showing wrong side. So you have to sew the divider to the bag right side. Okay, right side facing lining. That's how you are going to be sewing your divider. So if you can see here, you will realize that the pocket is showing inside out. So that was my mistake. So if you want to do your own, make sure you don't turn the pocket inside out. Make sure you sew it right side facing right side. Okay, so I went ahead and I will do my correction off camera. Then I will go ahead and sew the bottom. So when I done my correction, this is what it should look like. Okay, and I've already gone ahead to sew the bottom. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is to apply my gum on the surfaces. Then I would go ahead and fold in just one line, just fold in the extreme top of the leather, so that it's not going to be showing rough edges when I actually what's it called, when I actually sew it together. So we are almost coming to the end of this class, of this tutorial, guys. I hope you are learning one or two from this tutorial. Please give me a thumbs up if you are actually learning one or two from this tutorial, and also say something nice in the comment section. It actually means a lot to me. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to share this channel with your family and friends, so that more people will actually benefit from this class the same way you are benefiting. So the next thing is the handle. So these pieces that you're seeing is for the handle extension, and I'm using round rings. Okay, then the length of the handle I'm using is actually 14 inches. You can make your own shorter and you can make your own longer. Okay, so I'm just going to be showing my round rings to the two end of the right rings. Okay, then I am going to be putting my cord as a stabilizer. This is actually optional. You can do your handle in any way of choice. So after I folded the top, this is what it should look like. I went ahead and put the other end of the handle to the handle. Okay, so I'm going to be wearing my lining inside my bag and making sure that the sewn part is in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to be putting my handle inside. I'm going to be using my super glue to hold it in place, making sure it's at the middle. Then I'm just going to be using my super glue to hold it in place. Then I am going to arrange it nicely. Then I would use my super glue to hold the remaining places, so that I'll be able to put my second part of my fastener. After I was done with that, then I'm going to go to my sewing machine and actually do the finishing stitches, which is actually sewing the background. Then I will go ahead and put any accessory that I want to do for beautification and decoration. So after I was done, this is the final look of the bag, guys. I hope you try it out. I hope you understand this tutorial, and I hope you share it with me after you try it out. Am I going to make this bag again? Of course I am going to make this bag again. This time around I'm going to be making it even more gorgeous than this. Having said that, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys in my next tutorial. Bye for now.